Yeah, my name is Banna Bhatta, and I am a initiated disciple of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. First of all, let me offer my respectful obeisances to my eternal spiritual master. Om Gyan Tamanandasya Granjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the deepest, darkest ignorance, but my eternal spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Statarazari Shishmad, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, has forced my eyes open and continues to force my eyes open with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, I offer my most humble obeisances under his lotus feet. I would be completely lost without him. So, the devotees have asked me to say something, give some kind of a realization. I've been reading this wonderful book put forward by His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj, who's done an incredible service for Srila Prabhupada in this. And I happened to mention to Maharaj in an email I sent him that if I were GBC, I would make this required reading in all the temples. And I also personally read it for about 10-15 minutes after, every day after Mangal Artik. The mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. So I wanted to mention something, first of all, called mission drift. What is that? What is mission drift? What's the meaning of drift? Well, my experience of it is it's mostly like a nautical term, right? I think we're familiar with a boat on the ocean or a body of water. All of a sudden it just starts drifting. It means it's just random. There's no specific destination. It's just letting the wind and the current just carry it. And so this is what happens. This is a natural consequence of not following the pure instructions of our spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada, I was listening to tape, Prabhupada said, we cannot deviate from the order of the spiritual master even by an inch if we want to attain perfection in our life. And I've been thinking about that because I give tours of Srila Prabhupada's palace, and every day I'm talking about Prabhupada, which is such a blessing, because I've realized more and more how every single thing Srila Prabhupada did was completely inconceivable. And when Prabhupada came to America, what were the chances? Nobody in India even imagined he was going to have any kind of success. Nobody saw him off. Was it one of his sons from his previous marriage, one of his friends? Nobody in India imagined Prabhupada was going to do what he did. On the boat on the way over, no money, no friends, 2 heart attacks. What did he have? He had nothing. He had one thing. He had unflinching faith in the order of his spiritual master. And he himself set the example of not deviating an inch from that. In spite of all for us, in our stage, in my stage of devotional service, inconceivable, insurmountable odds. And so when I think of that concept, deviation from the order of the spiritual master, and mission drift, the analogy comes to mind of a boat on the ocean. Maybe it takes off from some place like New York, and it has to go thousands of miles. Previously, they would take readings, astrological readings from the stars, so they would know they were on track. Nowadays, there's GPS, and it's incredibly accurate. But if that GPS reading, or the reading that's taken from the stars, is off maybe 1/4 of a degree, or like 1/8 of a degree, the person can say, it's just 1/8 of a degree, it's just 1/4 of it, it's not going to matter. Yeah, well, you go thousands of miles and end up in your final destination across the Atlantic Ocean, where you have no point of reference on the way, and you end up in some far out place like Africa, you'll most likely be hundreds and hundreds of miles away from where your destination should be. And so it's our nature as conditioned souls. We were born into forgetfulness. And so it's our nature. And this process of Krishna consciousness is inconceivable. The mercy that we get from our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, because he's everyone's spiritual master. He's a Shiksha Guru of everyone in the movement. His instructions are so important. And as conditioned souls, we need to be following his instructions on a really, deep level. And every day, I've been doing this for over 50 years. Every day I get up, I'm like, oh my gosh, my life is starting over again. I have another opportunity, although I'm completely unqualified, to practice this incredibly powerful process of Krishna consciousness, although I have no qualification, and although it's inconceivable to my material mind and senses. And in my own personal experience of having so many, hills and valleys in the process of chanting Hare Krishna for over 50 years, at this point, I can understand how important it is. We don't have Prabhupada's physical association, is we have to dive into his Vani, and we have to associate with those devotees who are dedicated to his Vani and who are completely embedded with strong determination to execute this process of chanting and hearing. And so I would like to thank Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj very much for his incredible contribution. I've heard some devotees say something like, oh, why should we read that? That's a book by Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj. Like, who's Bhakti Vikasa Maharaj? Yeah, you look at every single chapter, and there's like 400 direct quotes from Srila Prabhupada in every chapter. Where can you find that in any literature? What kind of research did Maharaj do to put into that book? Maharaj, I fall down at your feet and I just pray that you have a long, healthy life, because devotees like you are very rare to find, in your contribution with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava, and now the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada are so important for the movement and to help keep us on the right track. So thank you very much. Vanchakalpadurubhyascha Kripasinibhyevacha Patitanam Bhavani Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.